Hi, and welcome back to the Real Sisters Real Estate Podcast. This is Christy Curtis, and I'm with Berkshire Hathaway, the Bob and Rana Group. I'm with my sister. How's it going?
Good. And I'm with Century 21 Jackson Hole. Things are good. Market's picking up. Weather's terrible again. It's snowing today, but that's okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but that's okay. It does that. The month of May is pretty terrible. So you just got to muddle through and June will be here soon.
Hopefully, right?
Hopefully.
It is super humid here. I'm trying to tame the beast that is the hair. And the last thing I want is for my niece to tell me that I'm looking scruffy again. You have scruffy curls today, Aunt Piggy. Ella. Shit.
I know. She's brutal. She told me the other day, she's like, "That red lipstick you wear on your podcast? Mom." I was like, "Oh shit."
I like your red lipstick. We can't put too much stock into what a 12-year-old tells us. We can only do what we can do.
Exactly.
Gosh darn. But she's adorable and she did great at her gymnastics contest and or competition, I guess what you guys call it, in Denver. We had a lot of fun out there watching and it was cute to see her do her thing.
Yeah, it's fun. It's very chaotic. Those competitions, they're just and that one was very even much harder because they all were wearing the same Leos. So it was like, "Where's Ella?" But she did very good. Ninth overall in the region, so that is she really knocked it out of the park.
Yes, she is impressive when it comes to it. She did a great job. She should be very proud of herself, and I told her as much before I left.
That's right. Well, you want to get into it?
All right, so let's get into some numbers. We'll roll through these pretty quick. Current days on the market here in the DMV, 16 days, same as last week. Active, we are up about 400 units from last week, which is good. Pending, we're also up about 1%. And then from close from last week, from this week, for last year, we're also up 1%. So that is good overall. What's going on over there in
Yeah,
Teton?
Teton Board of Realtors market update. We have a days on market for 137 on our residential and 208 for our building sites. Constantly ticking downward week over week. Good to see there. We have 1,120 active listings, 52 new listings, 36 went pending, and 26 sold. So I was looking at the data this morning and we are about even with inventory and sales by unit, but I did notice that our median sales price, our average sales price, not median, is down. So it kind of indicates that there may be some negotiating room. When I look at our new listings, I'm not seeing that our listing prices is necessarily down. But with that number being down, it kind of tells me that sellers are perhaps taking below market, below listing price and negotiating room, that there could be some wiggle room there. So that's good to know and keep in mind when you're touring with your buyers.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're seeing the same thing as far as pricing being the same. A little bit of negotiation as long as there's no multiple offers. But the multiple offers aren't crazy like they were, 2 years ago where you go on 50,000 over list. So that is good. And then maybe if they are negotiating, we can get a little bit of seller help for our buyers, keep some money in their pocket, which they like to see. When I go over the job report for it's a lot of doom and gloom, so hopefully we can power through that. As far as the interest rates, they are as high as they've been. They are at 7.2 and probably from what we see ticking up. The job report did give an indication that because it was weak, it will we might see a rate cut, but we'll see. So I will go ahead and get right into it. I printed. Oh, I'm such a boo. I sound so old. I printed some paperwork. I printed and looked at. Here we go. We're old. We can't help it. I did go over two different articles that I just skimmed as far as the job report. So the U.S. growth slowed notably in April, while the unemployment rate unexpectedly rose, a sign that the high interest rates and stubborn inflation are starting to weigh on the labor market. We kind of knew that was going to happen and saw it coming, but here we are. So they added 175,000 jobs in April, which grossly missed the mark of the 243,000 that they were trying to forecast. The unemployment rate also went higher at 3.9 against the expectations that it would hold steady at the 3.8. So last month, if you remember, the unemployment rate went up. They were all surprised. Again, here we are, it went up again. Just a couple different things I wanted to pull out of it. The surprisingly weak report paints a picture of a job market that is beginning to sputter as the result of the Federal Reserve's aggressive interest rate hike campaign and boosts the odds of a rate cut sooner rather than later. Fed policymakers voted Wednesday to hold the interest rate steady at the highest level since 2001. Yay! And signaled they will remain to wait and see mode on rate reductions after the string of hot inflation reports at the beginning of the year. Chair Jerome Powell ruled out a likelihood of additional rate hikes this year and signaled the Fed is ready to act should there be an unexpected weakening in the job market. So, again, just hold steady. We're staying where we are. We will see what happens. They're just saying that they're calling it the great stay. Overall, the job labor market remains at something at a standstill, as seen in a report earlier this week showing the hiring rate continuing to drift sideways. At the same time, the rate of workers quitting or being laid off is also not showing much change. And then also something noted in here was that the pay rate was going down. Yay. So everything is getting more expensive and we're not getting paid as much as, or people aren't getting as paid as much as they had hoped to, and the pay rate is going down. So, you know, two sides to every coin. Apparently, this is what the Fed wanted in the whole scheme of things. We shall see if it actually works. I think that the high interest rates are actually what's hurting our market because people, again, don't want to move. So, nothing we can do about it, but just wanted to share that.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest fear right now is because there is that lag of what the Fed does versus what we see in the economy. There's about a 6 months lag. So even if things continue to slip and the Fed does react, you have to expect that there's that 6 month lag. And we could have slid past the point now to where we are going to go into a recession. And the Fed can react all at once, and it may have gone down a slippery slope already. So, hopefully that is not the case, but with the numbers coming down, yes, it's great that inflation's coming down and we are seeing some movement, but we just have to just hope that they know what they're doing.
Let's hope the federal government knows what they're doing. Again, they said that the immigration is what's keeping the job market, like the expected jobs to be higher. So that's one thing. And the 6 months lag, you are 100% correct. They're still trying to say that we're going to have a soft landing. I don't think they know. But what do we do? Just keep trugging along.
Right. I mean, there's literally nothing we can do. We are not in control of the situation. All we can do is
No.
control ourselves. So,
Right. I had to think of that yesterday when I had 2 deals completely fall through when I was getting ready to go to the table. So, it's like, okay, I can only control what I can control, and I have to just
mhm.
move forward. Just a real shitty, shitty day yesterday. But not as bad as the story I'm about to tell you. You wanna get into, what would you
What do
do?
you got for us?
Not every day has us feeling our most graceful. Unfortunately, one realtor learned this the hard way. I was working with an affluent couple looking for a considerably large and expensive home, says Denise Supley. I think that's how you say her name. Co-founder of sparkrental.com. One day I was showing them a house while presenting myself in the home in what I thought was the most poised manner. I fell down the steps from the second floor to the first floor. I landed with my skirt up and completely disheveled.
Oh, no.
I heard them come after me in shock. I was mortified. Oddly, they never purchased a home with me. Poor Denise. I'm glad she didn't hurt herself.
Yeah. Poor Denise. I mean, that's so embarrassing. I
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, I've
I
definitely tripped out front doors and done stupid stuff, but
Mhm. Yes.
never landed upside down with my skirt, above, my head, so thank goodness on that.
Thank goodness on that. I will say that, I have tripped. I've always been able to catch myself. I learned a few years ago to always wear, if I'm not gonna wear flats, to wear a shoe with a strap around my ankle because I have a tendency to walk right out of
Mhm.
my pumps. So I have to have an ankle strap to keep my shoes on, otherwise I'm gonna hit the dirt. Not too long ago, I was leaving a listing and I got the paperwork signed, and then I felt like the biggest fool. I walked out of the front door and I was like, "Have a good day." My ankle twisted and I almost fell over. It's like, I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm such a loser." The next time I saw her, I said, "Oh my god, I'm such a loser. I'm so sorry. I almost fell over." And she was like, "I was just happy you were okay."
Yeah.
So we've been there, Denise.
Yeah, we've all been there. I mean, who doesn't do that? Maybe
Right.
maybe wear shorts under your skirt.
I would never do that. I just gotta tell you, I would never do that. I sweat too bad. TMI.
Alrighty then.
Well, I guess on that note, we could probably move
Yeah,
forward.
let's go ahead and jump into our reality show. We watched, which I'm kind of sad.
Alright.
We watched the final episode of season 14, to the max. So the trios, they're still in Vegas. They're still dealing with the drama. Kind of glad to see that it all moved along. Um
Mhm.
I have to love Altman, he's like, "Put on your big boy panties and let's do it." And that's so me.
Yes.
I would say, you're the exact same as I am. Like, shit happens. Yep, absolutely. But you have to move on. You can't sit there in a depressed pile of, in a bathtub. So
Right? Come on, man, like, shit happens, you're drunk, you're acting a fool, move on. I can't stand the self-wallowing stuff. I mean, literally, like I said, after yesterday, I was a little bit of a just in a funk, and then this morning, I actually was listening to Old Dominion. How good is that? And I was like, "That's right, man. Put on your rose-colored glasses and keep rolling." You know, you can't just sit there. Yeah, I'm with you. I love Altman. He is just. We are here to do a job.
Mhm.
Like, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's always my sentiment. Um in life and everything. It's like, no time, move along. And then
Mm,
moving along into the episode, they visit a comp that is insane.
insane.
I mean, wow. It has a putt-putt course. It has a whole garage that pulls its car up to the primary suite. It's nuts. What else can you say
It
about it?
it's nuts. It is crazy. It's crazy awesome. I actually was, putzing around the kitchen yesterday, and I was like I stopped it, rewound it, and I was like, "CJ, look at this house." And he was like, "Holy crap," just the garage that goes the car elevator that goes to the primary. You don't need it. Again, Altman is so funny. He was like, "This is a double size king." In my old days, I'd say, "How many girls can I get back here?" Now I'm like, "My whole family will fit here."
Yeah.
So true. We're all getting old. And that comp is just amazing. What was it?
Yeah,
34,000,000?
It was 34 million, and I have to say, like, for what they're selling their houses, which I think is gonna be just as badass, for 15 million, I do feel like you might be getting a steal. The girls walked through on the VR, love that.
Love it too. Love it too. I thought it was a brilliant idea. What a way to bring the people into the house when you're standing on a pile of dirt.
Absolutely. You know, we were talking about this in a selling class, and they were saying that VR is where it's going, and I absolutely see it. I have a teenage boy who is constantly on VR. We have to remind him, like, there's actual life here outside of it. So I think as his generation comes into the buyer's fold, it's going to have to be a regular practice for us. It just has to be, and it's a hard change. You know, some of those people, they were really struggling, and even I struggle in the VR. It kinda makes me sick. It gives me motion sickness.
Yeah,
It
motion
does,
sickness.
it
Yeah,
does. So, but that's the way it's gonna go. So, these technologies, it seems like that was a specially developed program for Terraforma, which obviously they have tons of money in development. But I think we're going to start seeing these products regularly available in the next 5 to 10 years.
sure. I agree. I mean, technology is just always evolving and changing, and you can say what you want about it, but the younger generations, they use it to their advantage. They don't know what life is not like to have, a computer in their hand. They don't know that VR is virtual reality. It's not real reality, but you can still use these tools. And they did a great job of showing how you can. I mean, it you just can't it was like you were in the house. I too do not like virtual reality. I've been on the ones where it's like you're on a roller coaster, and I just find it so weird and so crazy. It freaks me out a little bit. Doesn't make me sick, but it just is weird. And I'm like, in my head, I know I'm sitting on my ottoman in my living room. I'm not on a roller coaster, but it's creepy, man. It's crazy. But awesome technology to use for what they are designed. And I agree. I think it is a specially designed program for that new construction site. But if you think about it, if I don't know if you used to watch Joanna Gaines way back in the day when they first started, they didn't have those computer programs where they were able to take the floor plan, knock out the
Right.
walls, and like basically design it on the computer. So, I mean, same type of concept and just using technology to show people what things can be because unfortunately, a lot of people don't have a vision. I can walk into a house and say, knock out this wall, do this, do that, do this, because I know I have a vision for it, but some people just don't have it. So, what an excellent tool.
Absolutely, and I think it's really important when you're selling dirt, because that's what they're selling right now. I mean, it's one thing to walk into
Right.
a house and say, "Oh, well, I would change this, I would change that." It's physically there in front of you. When you're looking at dirt, it's a very, very
Exactly.
powerful tool, so good on them and getting that, and Altman closes the first deal, like, dang, he's good.
He is good.
Really?
Man, he is
I
good.
mean, the guy threw up the roadblock of the 2 years, and he was just so flawless. Rolled
Rolled right
right
past it.
past it, and
Yeah,
he's like,
rolled right past it.
"Alright, you got a deal," and he's like, "That's why I'm the closer."
I'm like, "Yeah, you are." Because when they, did the final numbers, the recap, I'm like, "Jesus Christ, $1.1 billion dollars in sales." And I feel like I don't wanna say he's the most grounded, I think they're all kind of grounded, Tracy's grounded, but he is just you can tell why people like him and why he is so successful. He is a go-getter, he is the closer, but he's also not
Right.
pompous and an asshole. Like, Flag is a little, you know, you have to kinda take him for who he is, and then there's Tracy who's just, a rock star. But, you can tell why he is just pretty amazing at what he does.
Yeah, he really is, and I'm kinda sad that this was the end of the season. I don't know where we're going next. We'll have to talk about this sometime during this
I
week.
know, I know. I'm like, I don't want to go to Selling Sunset. I feel like it's so well. I mean, I've only watched it a couple times, so we'll see. We might have to go into the drama-filled lives of these ladies. Who knows? Maybe we'll get sucked in.
I was skeptical when we first started watching this, and now I'm like, "Oh, no, come back."
I know. I know, me too. I'm like, do we pop right over to Million Dollar Listing New
We'll have
York?
to Yeah, we'll
We'll
have
talk
to
about it.
talk about it off camera, but, we'll figure it out and let
Yeah.
everybody know. Maybe we'll do a quick little, snippet to let everybody know where we're going.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or if you have a suggestion, then leave us a comment on our socials or our YouTube and, let us know what you guys like to watch. Because we're new to the reality show stuff. Our older sister, she's a reality show junkie, but Jules and I, we don't
No.
we don't watch
Mm-mm.
stuff like that. So, and now we know why she's a junkie. We loved it.
True.
Okay. Right. So I happened to come across Oscar de la Hoya's Knockout Mansion near Las Vegas land. No, near Las Vegas. It's in Henderson, Nevada. It is on the market for $20 million. It is nearly 9,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, and 7 bath. But more importantly, it is a property that the trio is literally selling on a $1 million listing that we're watching right now. So I thought that that was just so funny that I happened to come across it. So apparently, according to Shelter Realty, Oscar de la Hoya is selling this for 20 million. He purchased it in 2022 for 14.6. He's only lived there for 2 months and he is trying to flip it is what they are saying. This listing is brought to us by Czar A sorry Czar Zenga. I'm so sorry. The agency Las Vegas. So obviously this is the outside of the compound as a whole. And then you go inside. So if we remember, while it was on $1 million listing, is they wanted to do the seamless indoor and outdoor lifestyle. So as you can see, they just have it perfect. They did it so well with the big garage glass doors.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful.
So the gentleman, the listing agent said that the in Las Vegas, the strip is like the ocean.
Yes. Gorgeous ocean view there in Las Vegas.
Right. So pretty darn awesome. This is a picture of the open concept of the house with the kitchen and the living space. I love all the textures, the neutral colors. It's not all stark white. It's very natural looking with the different woods and then the stone texture. So just all around beautiful, beautiful look.
Yeah, I agree. I love the way they have all of the different textures with the wood panels. And I mean, they're probably actually real for 20 million. And the textured wall, and then with the gold, it's so nicely done. It looks like Terra Firma really knocked it out of the park on these.
So moving into the kitchen, you can see you have triple ovens. You have a beautiful waterfall table, which is custom built by the builder. The beautiful lighting. I just love the lighting throughout the entire house. This is your wine room with I don't recall how many bottles it holds, but looks like there's enough for a party. And then obviously your the natural elements follow through and carry throughout this room as well.
Yeah, I really like the kinda more intimate space here, and it looks like it does. It looks like we could throw a pretty good rager and have enough wine to go around, so
Right? Put the keg out back by the pools because we like to keep it classy.
cake stands.
Yeah, buddy. We won't even charge you the $5 for the red cup. Um, uh, primary bedroom, again, the big glass, I'm for lack of better words, I'm gonna call them garage doors, big glass garage doors that open up and just roll into the ceiling, which is just amazing. The primary has its own pool, it has its own outdoor space. It has its own outdoor fireplace. It is really just amazing. You could totally retreat and get away from your children here if you had kids. Just pretty amazing spot. And wait for the closet.
Oh, shut up. That's so awesome. For those who cannot
Right?
see, there is a full down, like,
It
couch
is
inside
so
this
awesome.
closet,
So
and, it looks to be like a vanity on the other side so you can sit and get ready. There's, like, an island in the middle that will hold, all your watches, and I'm sure socks that match, 'cause I think rich people have matched socks all the time. I don't.
I don't think they have the same peon problems that we do with missing socks and the dryer eating it and it literally just disappearing and having no idea where it went.
Right.
Those are poor people problems. So going into the billiard room or the game room, whatever you want to call it, you have your pool table, full bar out back, just some nice cozy seating, and then of course the textured walls that carry out throughout the entire thing and the gold lighting. And then of course you have a golf simulator because you're rich. Why wouldn't you have a golf simulator? It actually comes with the house. So I know that Jules would be all over that.
100%. I would be grabbing my bottle of wine from my wine wall, and this is where I would park it.
Can't say I blame you. I would park it there as well and just watch everyone. Although I do golf. I am not big into it like Jules. Jules came when Jules was home. You were good. You're really
Only
good.
off the tee box. The rest is just falling apart.
Well, as long as you can get it off the tee box. Sometimes I swing and miss, so it's not a good look. And then obviously we're getting to the outdoor seating as well, getting to the outdoor photos where it's just, again, showcasing that seamlessness of the indoor outdoor living. You have infinity pools. Next
Oh,
one is
yeah.
just all pools, which is amazing. And then, of course, the views.
This house is just ridiculous. I love this house. We've done a lot of really pretty houses, but this one is just so, so pretty.
I know. It's funny. Of all the big, beautiful modern homes that we've done, this is one of my favorites, if not my top, because it's just so it's not cookie cutter. It's different. It's not stark white. It really does have that seamless indoor outdoor living, which I just love. And then obviously the last picture is the full compound from the other side, which is just stunning. It's
Damn.
very contemporary, which I wouldn't normally go for, but this I just love.
Yeah, and it's fun that we could tie it into the end of the $1 million listing, getting Oscar de la Hoya's there at the Las Vegas. So awesome find, Chrissy. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was I just happened to click on it and I was like, "Oh, how freaking perfect is this? Wrap up for the $1 million listing and then find the house that they're selling." I mean, the house is brand new and he's already essentially they're right. He's flipping it. That's crazy.
Must be nice.
I know, right? Just, 14 million, sell it for 20. Peanuts. Peanuts compared to
Pretty
what he
much,
makes.
yes. Well, that was an awesome listing, Chrissy. Do you want to get into our tip of the week?
Sure. My tip of the week is trust but verify. I was just recently burned. I don't know how I could have verified something more. But trust and verify as much as you can. Obviously, we want to trust people as much, with just because we're humans, we want to see that people are good. But unfortunately, they're not most of the time. And you have to verify and go beyond them and just make sure that the person is telling you the truth and that you can move forward. So I got burned pretty bad, but you live and you learn. And I really can't think of anything I could have done differently. But, you know, out of every failure, you're supposed to learn something. And I did. So
Good, good
there
tip.
you
I
go.
actually read that one and thought about it this morning. I got a large, randomrealtor.com on a very large listing, and I went, happy to show this. Please send over your loan officer's information or bank proof of funds that I will be calling the bank. So haven't heard back from him yet. Um, we'll see if we actually do. But yeah, but my tip is It's definitely a little more vanilla. I was sitting in some sellers not seller class, CE classes last week. He showed us this, website called RPR. I don't know if you're, um, familiar with it or not. It's available to all NAR members, but it's a great website for CMA tools, marketing tools. I was playing around with it yesterday, just creating like flyers on my listings, and they look really nice, really professional. So yeah, so definitely something that I'm going to continue to use. I would say most of the people that were in my class with me had no idea what it was. I remember when I first got licensed, they like sent a random email and I think I opened it once because I did have a login and then I never looked at it again. So
Yeah, no, I use that. I use it. It's a really good tool. If you don't have a listing presentation, you can absolutely tie that in. It has lots of information on there, and it's actually a really, really good evaluator. If you're kind of struggling with your comps and things of that nature, it's really a really good tool. So, very good tip. Very good tip.
yeah. Well, that's all I have this week. You have anything else?
Nope. Let's land this plane.
All right, let's wrap it up. So, as always, you can catch us on our YouTube channel at Real Sisters Real Estate Podcast channel. Feel free to email us in any stories, or if you have any tips of where you want us to go next, since we've wrapped up a $1 million listing, drop a comment on our socials, and maybe we'll go there next. But other than that, be sure to like and follow us. Send us an email, realsistersrealestate@gmail.com. All right. Bye.
See you next week.